Welcome to Pigs Pod's first ever Warhammer Battle Report. Today we're going to be having a wonderful game of 1,500 points, and it's going to be against Space Wolves and Grey Knights. We're going to turn it over to our guys in front here, and we're going to go over our armies.
Alright, I'm Chode, and today I'm running Grey Knights from the new Codex. Today I'll be running the Nemesis Strike Force with a Librarian, level 2 Psyker, with Falchions and a Stormbolter. A unit of Paladins with 2 Falchions, 2 Demon Thunderhammers. Each Falchion has Melt-A-Bombs, and this Paladin is the Apothecary. A unit of Interceptors with 5 Falchions, the Justicar with Nemesis Demon Hammer and a Incinerator, and then a Strike Squad with an Incinerator and 7 Falchions. And then I have a Nemesis Dread Knight with a Greatsword and a Heavy Incinerator. He will be my Warlord for the battle. And allying, I have a Knight Errant and a Kaldus Assassin.
Hey guys, I'm Necro, an absolute noob to Warhammer 40k, but tonight I will be running Grey Knights. I will be running Space Wolves.
Against Grey Knights.
Against Grey Knights. Starting off with the army, I have 5 drop pod units. Each unit is running 6 Blood Claws with a Melt-A-Gun, and 1 Wolfguard Terminator with a Chain Fist and a Combi Melta. Next up, we have 2 units of Long Fang. Each has 4 las cannons, a Wolfguard Terminator with Storm Shield and Storm Bolter, and also a Long Fang Ancient with Pistol and Chainsword. Then I've got my bike unit, 4-man bikes with Flamer and Wolfclaw. And leading the charge in this battle tonight is going to be my Warlord, the Wolf Lord on Thunderwolf, with Armor of Rust, a Bolt Pistol, and the Black Death.
Okay guys, what we're going to do first here is we're going to roll for our mission. Necro is going to roll it for us. He's going to roll a
4.
A 4. That puts us on the Spoils of War. So, to our in-game reporter, Sir Redbeard, what are your predictions for the game?
Well, right now, just starting off, I think it's going to come down to how good the general is.
That's it?
Yeah, it's going to be shooty. Lots of shooting.
I'm
Stock
screwed.
everywhere.
Sounds good to me. Okay guys, in the deployment phase, over here on the Chode side, he has chosen to deploy his Imperial Knight and nothing else onto the table in the back. Then over on the Space Wolf side, we have the unit of bikes with the Wolf Lord. And then in the center here on the Chaos Shrine is a unit of Long Fangs with the Storm Shield Terminator out front sitting on an objective. Right back there in the back. Right there. And then over in the ruins, we have the other Long Fang squad sitting on an objective. Right there. Alright, we'll get back with you after the shooting phase. Alright, after our deployment and our movement, the Space Wolves have brought the pain. They dropped their drop pods, all 3 of them, right on top of the Imperial Knight, and they are here to fuck some shit up. The only other movement we had is the unit of Swiftclaw Bikers and the Wolf Lord are moving up, hoping to run forward and claim this objective in their first turn during their shooting phase. We'll get back with you after the shooting phase. Okay, at the end of the shooting phase, the Melt-A-Guns were totally useless and did absolutely nothing to the Imperial Knight. He stands there and says, "What the fuck?" That's it. And then also, the bikes with the Lord moved forward and captured that objective, so there'll be some points scored in this turn by Necro. That's the end of Space Wolves, turn 1. Alright, bottom of turn 1, Grey Knight's turn, their movement phase. We got a unit of
Strike Squad.
A Strike Squad here, dropped down on an objective because he drew that card. Then his Paladins dropped in over here. They're eyeballing those las cannon units right there. And then his what?
Interceptor.
The interceptor squad is eyeballing the other las cannon squad like, what the fuck? And then here comes a Dread Knight.
Right up my warlord's ass.
Up the warlord's ass. This is not going to go well. And then we still got this shit going on.
Hope your warlord ate a lot of fiber.
So, while they're doing their psychic phase,
I hope the wolf ate a lot of fiber too.
we're going to turn over here to our in-game reporter, Sir Redbeard. What do you think about the game now?
Wolves are back at spanked.
That sounds like a good analysis there. Thank you. That's the in-depth, super competent and well-knowledgeable in-depth analysis. The Wolves are about to get spanked.
I called it.
All right, so at the end of turn 1, shit got real. We'll start over here. This is at the end of the assault phase as well. The Imperial Knight unloaded on the units that were here. You notice there's a drop pod gone. Drop pod got shot to death and exploded. The unit that came out of it suffered extreme casualties. The other unit that came out of this drop pod, well, as you can see, is dead. They ended up getting shot to death and then assaulted and stomped out. We have one unit here left still alive. Then we'll come over here. The Dread Knight fired on the Wolf Lord here and caused 1 wound. And they're still holding the objective here. The Strike Squad, I haven't learned these models yet, are holding steady back here. And the Paladins unloaded on the Long Fang Squad. They lost 2 las cannons, 1 las cannon and their Terminator that was their tank. And then you come over here, and the Interceptors have unloaded on the
Last squad.
And the Long Fang Squad and took out the majority. They'll be rolling for morale here momentarily. Since we're going, go ahead and roll morale on that. See what they do. They morale on 8. We'll come over here. On 8, and they pass. So they get to hang out. And then we have to come over here and do a morale. They didn't lose 25%.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, well, let's go over here. Let's do this one. Alright, rolling on this one, leadership 8. And they roll
7.
7, so they pass. Then we'll come over here, and on leadership 8.
9.
9.
Oh, the Lord.
The Lord's still alive, or the Captain's still alive. On 9, and they pass. And that is the end of turn 1. Alright, so at the end of the movement phase for Space Wolves turn 2, we got a drop pod that's dropped in to deal with the Strike Squad. The Bikes have retreated to deal with the Interceptor Squad, right? Interceptor? Yeah, that's what we're going to call them.
The Warlord has detached from the bike unit to deal with this squad as well.
And then we have another drop pod has come in, unloaded its troops, get a back shot, to stick something up his butt. That's what we like here at Pig's Pod. Then over here, the 2-man squad has retreated to hold an objective, and the other squad has stepped forward
For an assault.
And that's the end of movement for the Space Wolves. Alright, so at the end of the shooting phase for turn 2, the Blood Claws did a little bit. They took a couple of or killed a couple of those guys, so that's nice. The Paladins took a beating. They had to take a morale check, but they passed and they're happy. The squad here, they took a couple of wounds, so they're doing all right. Dread Knight, he took a wound, so that's always a good thing. And then that stupid thing is still there. So we're going to go to the assault phase. Alright, so at the end of the assault, the Wolf Lord completely raped that unit. I mean, it was ugly. There was no lube involved. It wasn't good. And then over here, the assault here, they assaulted in, did nothing. They lost a model, tried to retreat. The Walker caught them. It just wasn't good. So that is the end of the assaults. So at the bottom of turn 2, we have the Khalid Assassin. He's coming over here against the Las Cannon squad.
Go home!
Yeah. The Strike Squad is going to be moving against the Blood Claws that came out of the drop pod that's right back here. The Paladins have turned from where they were and moving to the left to come after this unit that's over here.
Were they listing lazily?
They were listing lazily to the left. The Wolf Lord And the Blood Claws are like, what the fuck? Where did he go? Because he moved all the way over there. Look at the difference. He was right over there, and now he moved. That's because he's a bitch. Then we come back over here, and they're still locked in combat. That is the movement for bottom of turn 2. Alright, so at the end of the bottom of turn 2 shooting, the strike squad unloaded on the Blood Claws and did some considerable damage. Then we'll come back over here. The Calidus Assassin used her flamer and flamed out all but 2 of the last cannon squad, so that's a shame. And then the Paladins turned on the bikers and fired, but it did not hurt the bikers at all. And then the Dread Knight, he fired his flamer on this squad and managed to kill 1 guy, so that's not too bad shooting. And then we're going to get in the assault phase, which is pretty much that plus whatever assault's in. So that is the end of the shooting for bottom of turn 2. Alright, Redbeard. Here it is. It's the top of turn 3. Here's your vantage point. There's the battle going on. All the shit going down. Beer bottle in the background, because that's how we roll.
This isn't Beer Hammer, by the way.
So, what's your analysis now? What you thinking?
Looks like the Space Wolves have shock collars on and have the tails between their legs.
There you have it. Expert analysis. ESPN can even get this good. Okay, after the movement has been completed, the Wolf Lord is going to come over and say, "What?" to the Paladins. Meanwhile, the Blood Claws are moving on the Dread Knight, and the lone 2 guys from that remaining squad, or that squad from earlier, is going to be firing on that squad, and that's still a thing. So, here we go. Okay, so at the end of the top of the 3rd turn, the Wolf Lord here, he did some damage, dealt out some wounds, so that's a battle that's going down. The Dread Knight kicked some serious ass and is actually causing troops to retreat. And then over here, this battle still is going on. It is unbelievable. Still going on as we go into the bottom of turn 3. And while I'm thinking about it, the score, you can't see it, which really doesn't matter. The score currently is 4 for the
Necro.
Space Wolves for Necro and 6 for Chode. And that's the end of the bottom or top of turn 3. Alright, so at the beginning of the shooting phase, not a lot has gone down in the movement, except the Dread Knight has retreated back to that objective simply because he has that objective as a mission and he has to accomplish. Other than that, no other movement has happened. So now we go into the shooting phase of bottom 3. Okay, so at the end of 3, we skip the video for the shooting phase because nothing happened, but in the assault phase, the Space Wolf Lord destroyed that Paladin and Librarian, like gone. There's nothing left. See, no parts, no nothing. Not even a stain. It was that bad.
Shooting phase, the last game's going away.
Oh, that's true. We'll go back over here. In the shooting phase, I was totally wrong. Both last cannon units went away. I can't believe I missed that. This squad wiped the last cannons that were hiding there. And the Calidus, she wiped the 2 that were right there. So, the Grey Knights hold the whole right side of the board minus a drop pod. And then you swing over here and notice, look who's missing. 3 turns of shenanigans and the Wolf Guard Terminator finally just gave up the ghost. Never forget. And the Imperial Knight is now free to create all kinds of havoc and shit, and things are going to get stupid. So, now we're going to go into the top of turn 4. So, at the end of the shooting phase for the top of turn 4? Yeah, 4, shit went down. So, we did a movement in here as well. See, the Wolf Lord is running around the building. They moved up to fire at a Dread Knight, and guess what? He's dead. That was a Slay the Warlord kill. That's a big fucking deal. And that's pretty much all that happened this turn. So, we're going to go into the bottom of turn 4. So, at the end of turn 4, the Imperial Knight opened up on the squad that was right there, killing 2 Blood Claws, leaving the Terminator free to roam. So that was the end. Then in the assault phase, he assaulted the one blood claw that was standing there, and well, he's not there anymore. So that's what happened there. So, and that is the end of turn 4. So here we are at the top of 5. Shit's getting real. The remaining Wolfguard Terminator is back in there holding that objective. Meanwhile, I'm going to make you dizzy. And there's the Wolf Lord. We're going to walk around the table to show exactly what he's doing. The Wolf Lord is making a beeline for the Calidus Assassin because it's coming down to points. The score currently is the Wolves have 11 and the Grey Knights have 13. In this situation, they're scoring an objective that's going to make some things hurt. She's scoring an objective right there. So he has to come and take her out. It's going to be bloody. So we will find out at the end of this turn. So here it is. This is what just happened with the game. With this, there it is, right there. Death. And that's the Warlord kill. And that leaves him with one model on the table left. And, well, all that's left to do now is a good, healthy, hearty handshake.
Good game.
Good game, sir.
There it is, right there. Any post-game from the winner?
Hey, you put up one hell of a fight. That's a sturdy Space Wolf list.
Considering this is probably the longest game I've ever played, this was a hell of a match. Showed us a hell of an opponent, a hell of a list. Wolves did what they could. I was happy. I'm happy.
Well, there you have it. That's it. That's the end of the episode 1 of the Warhammer Bat Rep.